I think we can all agree that wildfire is a complex, traumatic, and challenging issue. It's serious stuff. The devastation that it can wreak on entire communities, the destruction that can happen in a matter of minutes. Addressing our wildfire crisis is a national priority that should never be politicized. House Democrats are committed to supporting a robust, all-of-government response, and to doing that in a way that acknowledges critical realities, starting with the climate crisis and the role of human-caused climate change, especially the burning of fossil fuels, in these worsening conditions that are exacerbating not just wildfires, but many other natural disasters. And second, the reality that solutions, including many of the ones in this bill, actually require resources in order to mean something. Now, we hope to continue working with our Republican colleagues to address our outstanding concerns about this bill, and we hope that the majority will work with us on additional legislation to address critical issues like adequate pay for federal firefighters that were left out of this bill. They need the resources to do their work. Communities devastated by wildfires also need the resources to rebuild. So there is plenty of work that we still have ahead of us. I hope we can do that together. It is unfortunate that this bill came up so quickly that, in fact, Republicans refused most Democratic amendments. At a time of crisis, we should be trying to find ways to work together. And the fact is, Democrats have a lot of good ideas. I really think this bill could have benefited from an open and transparent amendment process, and unfortunately, we were denied that. Forests are critical carbon reserves. They are majestic destinations for outdoor recreation. They're habitat for a range of wildlife enjoyed by millions of Americans, and short-circuiting environmental review and not allowing the public to participate in decision-making actually has negative consequences. It could put all of these values at risk. We have to be able also to talk about the climate. Like the recent fires in Southern California, or the ones that tear through my Northern California district all too often, and throughout the West all too often, some of the most destructive and devastating fires that we've seen in the past 5 years on non-federal land started as grass fires, exacerbated by the climate crisis. In the winter of 2021, the Marshall Fire broke out in Boulder, Colorado. At that time, it was the most destructive fire in Colorado history, over 1,000 homes lost. And Boulder County was experiencing at that time hurricane-force winds, just like Los Angeles. The fire blazed across open spaces that had been desiccated by months of extreme drought conditions. Everything about the Marshall Fire was unusual. The level of high winds, the condition of the landscape from an unstable climate, and the proximity to an urban interface. But what was once considered unusual is rapidly becoming the norm. We need to acknowledge that reality. Like the Marshall Fire, the fires in Maui started on non-federal grassland. They were fueled by hurricane-force winds and significant drought. This is a climate disaster. Fix Our Forests would not have stopped either of these fires. Communities like the ones in Southern California, Boulder, Lahaina, Hawaii, need resources so that they can prepare and respond and be more resilient. Unfortunately, even the sections of this bill that purport to help in these situations completely lack funding. They need to be refined. They need to be backed up by dedicated funding in order to mean more than just thoughts and prayers. Rushing bills like this to the floor to capitalize on a crisis does not always lead to the best outcome. We should know that by now. Let's hope this is not a model for the entire 119th Congress. Mr. Chairman, I will close by urging my colleagues to oppose this bill and urging my Republican colleagues to do a better job of working with Democrats. We should be tackling these issues together, and with that, I yield the balance of my time.